What's up, guys? It's Sasha back here again with the Football Hub, and today I thought I would do a little mock draft, my first on the channel. And, it's draft season, and mock drafts are always good to do during draft season, so I'll get started. The Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, not that difficult. I mean, generational prospect, best in the last 8 years since Andrew Luck. Um, They need to face the franchise, obviously, and they got Urban Meyer in there to help him out and help that team out. And I think it's more than a no-brainer. It's you could be dead and still take Trevor Lawrence. It gets interesting at two. Jets have a lot of avenues they could do. If I was doing trades in this mock draft, I'd probably have them trade down. But I'm not doing trades, so I think they could go with a guy like Nisul. He could play opposite Mekhi Becton, and you have your two franchise tackles. You could get an elite playmaker, Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, maybe even a Jalen Waddle. Or you could go a quarterback. Personally, I like Fields better than Wilson, but I think the consensus around the NFL is that Wilson is better than Fields. And I'm scared of Wilson. I think there's bust written all over him. He's had one good year at BYU. At BYU, not great competition. Last year, he threw 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. This year, he threw 33 and 3. I just think he's had one good year. I'd be really hesitant to draft Zach Wilson. Dolphins at 3. Again, a lot of avenues. Could trade down. Could go Penei Sewell. But I think they go a playmaker. They get Devontae Smith. They need a guy. They need a playmaker. They don't have one right now. He's familiar with Tua, and I think that's just a really good overall fit. Smith in Miami. 4th overall, Falcons go Fields. Fields is from the area. He's from Kennesaw, which is 30 miles from Atlanta. It's close, and Matt Ryan's getting long in the tooth, and you can have Fields redshirt for a year, sit behind Ryan for even 2 years, because Ryan's contract becomes more movable next offseason. It's going to be hard to move it this offseason. So you can have Fields learn the system, do what Mahomes did, and then come in, and I think he can be a great quarterback in the NFL. Bengals at 5, no hesitation, it's Penei Sewell. They can wait for Penei Sewell's development. Other teams can't. Like, I don't think Penei Sewell's a great fit with Miami. If Miami wants to contend this year and you want to tackle, I think Rashawn Slater's better. Like, right away, Rashawn Slater's better. But if you're willing to wait it out, Penei Sewell could be a generational tackle prospect, and that's probably a little bit of hyperbole. But I still think that Penei Sewell, if you're willing to wait, could be better. But day one, Slater is definitely the better prospect. For the Eagles at 6, I'm throwing a little bit of a curveball out there. Patrick Surtain. They could really use a corner across from Darius Slay. Slay is like 28, 29, starting to get long in the tooth. And you could really afford to develop a guy under him, have him be a corner 3, corner 2, and then eventually have him take over as that shutdown corner. And I go Surtain over Farley here. I think Surtain's better. I have watched more Surtain than Farley, to be fair, so I'm a little bit biased, but I still think that Surtain's the best corner in this class. Lions at 7. They need a receiver. I give them Jamar Chase here. Galladay's a free agent. Marvin Jones is a free agent. More than likely, both are gone, or almost definitely one is gone. And you need to give Jared Goff a fighting chance. I don't think Jared Goff is great, but I mean, it's not going to be fair if he's throwing to who? Quintez Cephas? And get him a playmaker in Jamar Chase who can go up there and grab the ball like a guy like Jamar Chase. Panthers at 8. I know the consensus is give him Trey Lance. I'm gonna give him Kyle Pitts. They could really use a guy like Kyle Pitts who's a playmaker all around. He can play wide receiver and tight end. And I mean, Joe Brady's gonna have so much fun just game planning with Kyle Pitts, Christian McCaffrey, and DJ Moore. And I know who's their quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater isn't great, but I mean, he's serviceable, and you could really use another playmaker on that offense. Broncos at 9. Caleb Farley, you need a corner. You really need a corner Farley has all the tools to be an elite corner in the NFL, and I just don't see. I think this is a really good match. At 10, well, both corners are gone for the Cowboys. You don't really need a linebacker, Micah Parsons. You could go D line with Kwity Paye, but I'm getting Rashawn Slater. They could really use someone who can come in and take over for Tyron Smith and just put Tyron Smith out of his misery. He's a Cowboys legend. He's been a top tier tackle for the past decade, but I'm sorry, he's not good anymore. He can't stay healthy. And now with Rashawn Slater, you have a guy who can come in day one, slide in at left tackle, and help keep Dak upright, and maybe not have him break his ankle again, and help the running game get back, get better, get strong, and then maybe next year Dallas rebounds and they can have a 2016 or 2018 type season. Giants at 11. Jalen Waddle, if I can do this correctly. Jalen Waddle. He's an elite playmaker, and the Giants need an elite playmaker like Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is better than Devontae Smith. I know it's an unpopular opinion because of the year that Smith had, but Waddle was better when he was healthy than Smith was. And Waddle's a great player. Assuming the ankle checks out, this is a no-brainer. Not even David Gettleman can fuck this up for the Giants at 11. Niners at 12. They're going to go Trey Lance. I really like this pick for the Niners. This is a high ceiling. There is a low floor, but it's a very high ceiling pick. Trey Lance can be Josh Allen in this league. And he can move. He has a cannon. And I really think he would fit well with Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan can squeeze the best out of Trey Lance. Chargers at 13. Keep Justin Herbert upright. Don't do what the Bengals did with Joe Burrow, what the football team did with RG3, and what the Colts did with Andrew Luck. Keep Justin Herbert upright and healthy. Because if he can stay healthy, they're a playoff team, and they can improve that defense. They are a playoff team. And Christian Darrisaw can hopefully come in, help them at either tackle spot, get better, and keep Justin Herbert upright. Vikings at 14. I really think there's two people they consider here. You could go Kwity Paye, help that atrocious defense last year, give Danielle Hunter some help, or you could go Elijah Vera Tucker and help that O-line, help Kirk Cousins. I think you go Kwity Paye, help the defense, because, that defense was wretched last year. And I know they had no Danielle Hunter, but still, help Danielle Hunter, take some pressure off of him, give Mike Zimmer a fighting chance, game planning on defense with a guy like Kwity Paye. Patriots at 15, no real hesitation here. Micah Parsons, he is an elite prospect in this class. I think he can learn under Hightower for a year or two, become the next Patriots great middle linebacker, and hopefully just lift everyone up on that defense, improve everyone, be a leader. And I know there's some character concerns with Micah Parsons, but I just think that, I just don't think you can pass up on him. Come to the Bill Belichick factory of, front seven players, and Micah Parsons could be a stud for a long time. Cardinals at 15. There's Elijah Vera Tucker on the board. You could go with him. There's J.C. Horn on the board. You could go with him. I think that Kyler Murray got hurt at the end of last year. You have to keep him healthy and improve that O-line. Get Elijah Vera Tucker in there. That can really help your O-line, help keep Kyler healthy. Raiders at 17. I think this is an interesting pick, and I think they go with Gregory Rousseau. That's a classic Al Davis pick. He has all the measurables. He's extremely physically gifted, 6'7", 250, and he's a project. He's a project D lineman. But I think that the Raiders are going to take their time, and I think he's going to turn out to be a bust. I'm not going to lie, but I think that this is a classic Al Davis pick here. Rosso at 17. Miami at 18. I think they took a little bit of a luxury pick, Devontae Smith at 3 here. Get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Get a hybrid guy on defense who's kind of a big safety, and he can run around, make plays, and really help that Miami defense. And they could really use him. And Miami fell just short of the playoffs. I think if they bring in Smith and it was Moa and Tua develops, they could easily be a playoff team next year. No doubt in my mind. Football team at 19. I think they give Taylor Heineke an extension. I don't think that necessarily means Mac Jones is off the board, but I don't think they're going to go Mac Jones. I really don't. Then you look at, well, they could use a playmaker. Rashad Bateman's here. Kadarius Toney's here. Even a guy like Rondale Moore they could go with. Defense, you could use a corner. You got J.C. Horn. I think really everyone else here is a little bit of a reach. I'm gonna give them Rashad Bateman. Give Terry McLaurin a nice little receiver buddy. Give Alex Smith or Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen some help, and then I think they could be definitely come back to the playoffs next year in the NFC least. Bears at 20. I think Mac Jones is in play here. I don't think they go Mac again. He's in play. He's definitely in play. Kadarius Toney's in play here. They could use a playmaker on offense with the likely departure of Allen Robinson. I'm gonna give him Toney. They need a receiver with Robinson likely leaving. Like this is one that's like after free agency, it's gonna be easier because if Robinson stays, I don't think they go Toney. They might go with Barmore, get younger on D line or Ojolari, or maybe even a guy like Sam Cosmi. Um, get an O lineman, but I think Toney makes sense as a playmaker for them. Colts at 21. Again, a lot of avenues they could go. Mac Jones again in play, like 3 straight picks. Mac Jones is in play. You could go Sam Cosmi, Alex Leatherwood, Jalen Mayfield. Get yourself the Anthony Costanzo replacement. On defense, J.C. Horn, he's still on the board. He's a pretty good player. But I think that Frank Reich, give him a quarterback. They go Mac Jones. Stop his quote unquote slide. I think this is about where he should go anyway. But Mac Jones could fit here. Titans at 22. They need defense. Terrible, bad defense. I think they go Christian Barmore. They couldn't stop the run. Barmore can help them stop the run in the middle. And definitely, I think this is a really good pick for Tennessee. Jets at 23. This is an interesting pick because you take Zach Wilson, you get your quarterback of the future. Who's Zach Wilson throwing to? Well, the receivers you'd like to take, Bateman and Toney, are off the board. So I think you get him a tackle. Sam Cosmi. Help keep him upright. And make sure he doesn't get killed. Don't make the mistakes of other teams and keep him upright. Steelers at 24. Najee Harris, get him a playmaker in the backfield. Najee Harris is a great player. And I really think they could use a guy like him in the backfield to take pressure off of Ben, who's aging, likely going to be his last season. Definitely, I think this is an easy pick for Pittsburgh. Jaguars at 23, and I think they're going to dip back in the tackle game and take Jalen Mayfield. They have a bad O-line. Help keep Lawrence upright. Again, there's a theme. I'm trying to be smart here. Chargers took a tackle. Cowboys took a tackle. I like tackles. I think they're important. Cosmi and Mayfield again. Really important to keep your young franchise quarterback upright and healthy. Cleveland at 26. I'll give them Azeez Ojolari. They could use a D lineman with Myles Garrett, take some pressure off of him, and really, really help them stop the run, get more pressure on the quarterback. Ravens at 27. This is an interesting pick. Orlando Brown is probably gone. He wants to play left tackle. You need your right tackle now. And, well, Ronnie Stanley's hurt. I believe he tore his ACL or he tore something. And if you look at it, I don't think there's a first-round caliber receiver. I mean, Pat Freiermuth is a good player, but I don't think you really need him. Then you look at defense. Well, you're aging on the D line. You could go Joe Osai. I mean, that would really be the defensive pick. Maybe a Nick Bolton or a Zaven Collins, but you did draft Patrick Queen in the first round last year. I think the pick is Alex Leatherwood. Get yourself another tackle. Help that because they have a blistering run game. Help keep that in shape with Leatherwood. Good pick here for the Ravens. Saints at 28. There's gonna be a lot of cap casualties for the Saints. They're 100 million under, and really this is gonna be a hard pick until that point. But I'm gonna give them Nick Bolton. They really could get younger on defense, and I feel like they need help with Demario Davis isn't young anymore, and Nick Bolton can learn under Demario Davis and really improve as a player. Packers at 29. This is an interesting pick. I think again. Well, if a guy like Kadarius Toney's still on the board, I think he could go here. If a guy like Rashad Bateman's still on the board, I think he'd go here. They're long gone. Robert Tonyan's a free agent. He's going to want big bucks. He might leave. Then you look at defense. Kevin King can't play corner. You could use a corner a guy like J.C. Horn. I think they're gonna go with Pat Fryermuth here, get Aaron Rodgers another weapon. But I think it's like there's definitely discussions about going J.C. Horn. Bills at 30. It's another pick where J.C. Horn does not go. Actually, yeah, I'll give the Bills J.C. Horn. They could use a corner across from Tre'Davious White. That's I mean, who else really? The defense wasn't that good, and J.C. Horn can help them get better at corner across from Tre'Davious White. Create a nice little tandem there. Guy who you can develop and have him sit. Not have him. He's not a quarterback. Like you can play and develop him. Chiefs at 31. Oh Jesus, what was that in the Super Bowl? Tevin Jenkins, get Mike Remmers out of my face. He is not in the NFL. He might be the worst tackle I've ever seen, and I don't know how he even made two Super Bowls, how he even made an NFL roster. But I think get Tevin Jenkins. Eric Fisher is probably going to get cut. The Chiefs are a little under the cap, I believe, and Eric Fisher has very little money guaranteed, so he's probably going to be a cap casualty. Get Tevin Jenkins, maybe slide Schwartz to right tackle, put Jenkins at Schwartz to left tackle, Jenkins at right tackle, or you could just stick him at left tackle. Bucks at 32. Well, it's Osai. I'll go back to the full results here. It's Joe Osai. They get younger on defense, and Shaq Barrett's probably gone. You can have them develop him and have him be the next Shaq Barrett because they don't do much well, but they can develop D linemen. So, thank you guys for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this, and well, I'll see you guys next time.